Good morning, all, and welcome to this show. I am hard at work trying to get this figured out right here. I need to make it so that we can talk about um, we need to talk about these things which need to be talked about. I'm just saying that you're talking about things that need to be talked about. Okay. This is 4 lanes, barrier 4 lanes. That's what I'm going to do with this one. We're going to merge this. It's not merging. That's merging. You missed the visit by George. He'll probably be back though, because he's George. That's what George is. It's a George thing. George is into that kind of thing. George thing. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Right? It's actually a horribly good point, Pepper. I think I need to remember that at some point here, I'm going to have to do the quite literally merges and not merges. Ugh. I know that's coming up. They're going to want that. But I have my meeting today at 3:00. All of this stuff has to be I've got to come up with stuff that's done by then. Because they're kind of doing the, what are we paying you for? Sort of thing. So, what would have really been smart to do with this would have been to change the colors of the lines before I duplicated 1,000 of them. Just saying. I'm just saying. Because these are not white. Now I gets to do this a gajillion times because I was dumb about it. No, that's all right. It's okay. Right? What's this stuff? Why are you even friends with me, Pepper? I'm so stupid sometimes. All right. You're like, I don't know why I'm friends with you. Shut up. All right. Find out. Right? Beaker noises. There. Oh, that was also freaking brilliant. Oh, that's right. This is good enough. This will totally work. Yeah, but Ken seems to have thought that actually addressed the problems that he was seeing, and I feel like we've addressed the problems I was feeling too. So it was exhausting, and I really appreciate you putting up with my thought process, because I know that my thought process is in fact exhausting. So It's exhausting for me, and I live here. So I appreciate you doing that. And I promise you, if you get on the show today, I'm not getting into it. I don't have the time before this is done, and I'm feeling the pressure, so I'm not getting into it. We can talk about like stupid fluffy stuff, but I'm not talking about AIs. Not for another couple of days. I'm out. So, just so you are aware, inner lines are white, outer lines are yellow. Sorry, inner lines are yellow, outer lines are white. This is how you know where the road ends. This also, by the way, is how you know you're on the wrong way on a one-way street, because the yellow line should always be to your left and the white line should always be to your right. And if it's the reversed, you're doing it wrong. So, you do you, Pepper. You do you. I just wanted to make the promise to you. I just want to make the promise to you that I'm not getting into it today. That's all. Because I'm like, I know that you're tired. I'm tired. We're all tired. Oh, hey. I just got the practical guide to being a GM, and I cannot ever. Why do I do this to myself? Why? I'll download them, but I'm not allowed to read them. Not until later on today when I've got other things to do. So this guy wrote a book called The Complete Guide to Epic Campaigns. Right? Like how to make epic campaigns work. And I just got the digital downloads. Well, you're a little late there, Jerry, but not too bad. Yeah, and some users like, hey, you had like lots of people. So some user, you missed a heck of a stream. There's like a whole bunch of us on here. We were all talking about AI and using AI art, and it was wild. And we even had like Andy in Japan, and she was in the chat talking, and oh wow, it was a big, interesting, fascinating show, which I can't talk about because I've got to finish this, right? And so Pepper's like, no, stop. I've got to finish this. Okay. But it was still cool. Oh, yes. And then yesterday we did Duck in Space. QuaCk. Duck, a space duck named QuaCk. Straight freeway. All right. Oh, well, that's good. You watched it then. And hello, Brent. All right. We're going to lose my mouse. That's what we did. There we go. We're going to actually make the total on this one 1, enter, and that'll wipe out the animation. And then we'll save as scene. And then this one is called, checking my notes, 15. 0.15 3-second distance. Well, yes. Well, okay, yes, I am playing D&D, but I was part of a Kickstarter on 2 books on how to be and how to make epic campaigns, not just campaigns, but epic campaigns. And so, no. Duck in Space was an epic campaign, but it wasn't that epic of a campaign. We're going to delete you, and then we're going to take this camera, and we want the camera not there. Oh, camera is remarkably close to the end of the what's-its. All right. So here's what we're going to do. So at some point here, not right now, at some point, I'm going to run a cyberpunk campaign of some sort, and we haven't decided what format it's in, because we kind of like the idea of playing Shadowrun. I haven't done Shadowrun in a long. Can we make Duck in Space campaign? You know what's so funny? Pepper and I were kind of talking about how it has its has sort of a pattern to it, right? Panel 1, QuaCk. Panel 2, QuaCk. Panel 3, QuaCk. And we were laughing about that. And then I thought about it. I'm like, we could do an entire series of these where it's us playing with QuaCk. You know what I mean? Like that pattern. All right. So I feel like if I were to take top view, maybe I do want to slightly back like so. Here's the thing we're going to do first. I'm going to take this, browse, and we're going to just do the 2-lane straight, because this is the easiest possible way to understand See, isn't that nice looking? It's got the mountains in the background, and over here we've got the city, which, just like you guys requested, I put the gold on the dome of our capital at request. I do agree. We had Bob Chase on here, and he was saying it is sort of like all the landmarks of our city just sort of laid out in a row, but that's okay. Like, that's not the real places of all of those, but that's okay. We just pretend. So. That's okay, though. This is a Denver driving school, so it makes some sense that we would have it, have mountains and have the city. So some user, when we talk about Denver, it's funny because people who don't live here kind of have this vision that Denver is in the mountains, like it's a mountain city, because we say it's a mountain city, but we're really about 15 minutes from the mountains on the freeways. I mean, it takes a lot longer if you're not on the freeway. And it's the way the mountains work in Colorado. The two tectonic plates, millions of years ago, the two tectonic plates in the Californian plate and the North American plate collided. And when they did, it created the Sierra Nevadas, which is the big mountains in Nevada and California. But then that plate subducted and went underneath. And then at some point it broke. And when it did, this plate went boom and popped up like this. And so what we've got mountains that go all along, and then they come to a stop. And they totally come to a stop. And you can even see it. The front range of our mountains look like There it looked like ground that's lifted up like this. So you can see that plate came up and went and just pushed up on the ground. And then it broke there at that, and that we call that the San Andreas Fault. So that plate broke and came up, and when it did, it made this front range. So the way Colorado works is it's absolutely flat, and then there's mountains suddenly. And so we've got these like sudden mountains right here on this range. Um, on the north side, we call those mountains the Flat Irons. On the south side, we call it the Hogback. But either way, the way it works is we have the city of Denver is placed right there on the edge of this mountain range. So it's kind of cool, but it's hard for people to envision unless you know the topography, unless you know how the ground looks here. So I've seen so many times where they play "This is Denver, Colorado," and they show, they just pick someplace in Canada. It's all mountains all around them, and it's like, yeah, well, no. It's very similar, I find, to it's very different than, say, the plain around, say, Mount Fuji, which is all a volcanic plain. Mount Fuji came up out of the water and then sprayed lava until it leveled out the area around it. But that's a lava plain. This isn't a lava plain. All of this out here is actually geologically metamorphic rock. So it's a sedentary and metamorphic rock. So there's a little bit of igneous, but not a lot. Igneous is the kind of rock you get from volcanic activity. Okay. And there's your rather interesting lesson on geography. The reason why I'm vamping at the moment here is because what I really need to do is what I really need to do is move the ground, not the car. And it's weird thinking. So I'm thinking it out moment. Because what we really need to do is take this plane and move it under the car, and then take two of them, move one, and then flip it over, and then flip this one over, and then flip this one over, and then flip this one over in the animation. And that's why I'm doing the moment. Because what I think we need to do... Okay, we need to add another car. So first, let's go ahead and add another car. And we'll color this car a different color, which requires... Oh. Yeah, but that's not your job to be sarcastic. Your job is to make sure I stay on target. Let's get ourselves B car and A1B car, because we need to take A1B and copy and paste it on B, and then take out everything except for the turn signals, the lights. I feel like I'd probably be better off doing this the other direction, like this, going like you, no, going you, no, you. Let's say Control Shift I and then delete. Right? Deselect. Oh, it is. I just have to think it through. It's totally nominal. There's nothing weird about it. I just have to make the animation work. Yeah. And we don't need a zillion cars yet. I'm worried about the day when I need to have a zillion cars, because that's going to come. They're going to want. Can we just do a real quick video of how to deal with traffic when there's 70 cars and you have to merge with 3 people at the same time? Left, right, up, down. A, B, start. And then I will save as, because we need to say B. So now it becomes B flat. No, my day job is a driving instructor. And that's what I do during the day. Is I'm a driving instructor, and I teach a 30-hour class on how to drive to 14, 15, and 16-year-olds. And my car, yes, that's fine. And it will say car A. So I teach. We have this PowerPoint presentation effectively that we do for 30 hours where the teacher stands up there and we get a slide that says, don't do this. And then we explain why you should do this instead of that or whatever. So we do a different, we explain to the kids why they can't drive this way or why they should drive some other way. And so I do the driving course, and and so what's happened is the guy who did the driving course before me, who built the structure of it, there was a committee of about 4 people. They did these videos, and the videos are horrible, where you've got like flat cars and they're trying to run into each other, and every time they do, the graphic goes on top of another graphic, and it's like you know what I mean? And it's like, oh my god. So I said, you know what? I've got an animation degree. Would you like me to redo these videos and explain some stuff so that you can kind of see what's going on? And they were like, yeah, that'd be great. Do you have any can you show us some of your work? And so I totally did. And they were like, oh my god, think of the things we could do. We could do all kinds of stuff. And ever since then, they've been doing the, hey, why don't you do this? And why don't you do that? And so now I have this list of, and it's hard to see because of this, but this list of videos that needs to be done, because they're like, do these and these and these. So, as a side note, Brent, that's Jerry, which is okay. I don't remember your name either. I have a cheat sheet right here that tells me what all of your names are, so that I don't forget, because otherwise I'll be calling you Bob. Because that's me. I don't remember names. So, I see. Anyway, Um, it's funny that you had mentioned 6th Avenue, Brent. There actually is, we're talking about clover leaves, and the guy who made the slides before us took a picture of Wadsworth and 6th for weave lanes, because that weave lane is, I think it's 125 feet. So it's like the shortest weave lane that we've got in the state, and it's brutal during rush hour. Some user, for your benefit, it's something like 60 meters. So the weave lane's only about 60 meters long, and you have to, and 6th Avenue moves at like 100 kilometers an hour. So 6th Avenue moves really fast. So you come up the cloverleaf onto 6th Avenue, and you have to get up to 100 kilometers an hour inside about 60 meters. And so, 50 or 60 meters. And so there's not a lot of room. So we use that as an example of why you need to come out of that cloverleaf at a pretty good speed, because otherwise you're not going to match speed with traffic on 6th Avenue. But it's funny that Brent mentions 6th, because US 6 is like, it's just a mess. The entire freeway is a mess the entire way, all the way through town, even up into the mountains, because US 6 will go up into the mountains, and it gets bizarre and weird even up there. But I think it's funny that he's mentioning that. So here's what I think I'm going to do. I know. I'm not. That's why I said I think it's funny you brought that up, because we have a slide specifically because of that. I know you used to live here. Otherwise, you wouldn't know about 6th Avenue. It's not something normal people know about. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this tree and stick it in the middle of the road. Wow. Let me hear. We're going to take this tree and we're going to connect it. Tree bone connected to the plane bone. I don't know, man. I hadn't seen traffic until I got to Tokyo. That was traffic. I had no idea. That's funny, actually. Did you do it with a seatbelt and without a seatbelt? Because that would have been pretty kick butt, actually. No, I don't want you there. Well, that's the idea, It's like okay, so you need to remember to wear a seatbelt. Behold, if you aren't wearing a seatbelt and you're in an accident and then you fly out of there, you'd be like, holy crap, that sucks, I think it's hard to envision the amount of power and amount of energy that is transferred in a car crash. So, and it's hard to visualize it. We show car crashes at NASCAR because first of all, our school likes to be positive. They don't like to do the negative stuff, so they don't like to do the blood on the highway. They prefer to do more of a positive, because it really scaring people doesn't help. It never really makes any difference. So okay, we can take this, and if we back out, we can take this guy and move him out, so he's at the edge of this. And then, because we want to make this not look like it's repeating patterns too much, because we know it's going to be repeated patterns. Man, you guys have cooler, like, stuff. That sounds pretty kick butt, actually. I'd be, like, all into this plan. This would be great. Now I'm all jealous. That sounds like fun. There you go. Bring the cyclorama up a little bit more so that it's not quite so. All right. No, good. Oh, my beloved is at the dentist getting her teeth cleaned, and I was like, "Oh, we should probably schedule that for the kid and me." And so she just messaged and said, "You're already scheduled. What are you talking about?" Okay, so we'll need to drop you down so that you're like so. There we go. Now we still get the cyclorama, but it's room now to see where the tree is because um, we need to make this so that we can see the distance between. So the animation we're making right now is for following distance. Okay, so that's what we're after here is following distance. So we're gonna make two versions of this animation, one where the following distance is too close and one where the following distance is correct. And what we want is 3 seconds of following distance. So since we're after 3 seconds of following distance, here we go with math, because this is the reason why I put this off until now, because oh god, I'm gonna have to do I mean, we do break distances, but percentages of chemicals in the fuel, I don't know why you do that. That seems kind of, I mean, it's cool that you know it, but I don't seem like that's practical. Okay, so we need to make it so that 90 frames. In 90 frames, because that's 3 seconds, right? In our animation distance line, the tree passes from one position to the next position in 90 frames. That's what we really need to do. And what I really should do is make this long enough that you can see a cycle of it for a while and then see the car slow down, since we now have brake lights that work. So some user, watch this. This is cool. So we now have the ability to turn on our brake lights. Not at the same time, because I need them to be turn signals. It is so, having now taken the test in 2 different countries, driving tests, I'm fascinated by the differences in each country and what is important and what isn't. Like, taking the test in Japan, you have to take the practical test where you drive the car through a course, and they give you this huge honking taxi and then put you on these tiny roads with these PVC pipes that hang down. And if you tap any of those pipes, you fail. But the idea is, can you drive through like an S-curve course without bumping the pipes? And of course, it's because in Japan, they've got all these roads that are just exactly one car width. And so they made you that. I thought that was kind of fascinating. It was like, that's interesting, you know. So anyway, just a thing, fascinating thing. All right. We're also going to need to add a primitive, and this primitive just needs to be a cube. We'll add the cube. There's a cube. And we're going to call this a line. And it's going to be as wide as the road. And it's right now through the middle of this car. Poor car. But not that wide. And it just needs to live like right here. Just enough you can see it. And then we're going to go down here to surfaces. We're going to take it and we're going to call it red. And then we're going to take ambient coloring. Ambient is amount. Yep. Yeah, that's America. That's the same here in the US. We do the same thing. It's the same thing in the US with us because we've got to just drive around. So what I want to do, put this on plane 2, top view. Yeah, I actually failed the driving test in Japan the first time around. They made me ride a bike for 6 months. And I had to take the bus and everything. Stop doing that. There are many who believed that was because the Japanese will fail a foreigner by default. So, because I actually drove an almost perfect course, the mistakes that I made was I left the car in second gear too long, and I went 9 kilometers an hour, or I went 11 kilometers an hour when I had to be under 10 kilometers an hour around a curve in a manual. And for those of you who know how to drive manuals, you will know that it's really, really, really hard to keep a car from stalling at 10 kilometers an hour. That's really, really hard. Right? I mean, because like that, and not only that, I used to do all kinds of stuff. I used to race. So like it's fishy. It was fishy, man. It was fishy. All right. So now let's start the thought process. I think the entire thing is in. I think I've got everything I'm looking for this. So what we're going to do we're going to have to do math on the planes to see how fast they move. Which this is the part that does not make me happy. Okay, so if we're doing this, so we see where we are here. So we start at 224.58 for 1, and we'll mark down where 2 is. 2 is quite a ways down. 5038 1.53. Oh, you mean using a Jake? In town? No. Um, law ordinances are. Oh, you're not talking about Jakes. You're talking about just using the engine to slow down the vehicle on a diesel. Okay, so here, here's the thing about diesel engines. Um, Diesels will keep running even without ignition systems. So even if you take the glow plugs out, they will keep running. Right. So downshifting is what we call that. So you downshift. So you're in third gear, you put in the clutch and you put it to second gear and let out the clutch. You can, but since diesels work on pressure, and that's what's happening is when in a gas car, gas comes in, it's ignited, that pushes the piston down. In a diesel, the glow plug warms up the diesel until it ignites and then pushes it down. Then that glow plug never works again for the rest of the time that the vehicle is on. Because once the fuel is put into a diesel cylinder, it's compressed and the compression causes it to explode. So compressing causes the fuel to detonate, to explode. So what your dad's saying is that when you do that with a diesel, you're not getting the benefit you think. It's causing sort of a runaway reaction. So with a gas car, when you downshift, it causes the engine to go up in RPMs. But as long as there's not as much gas going in, you get a vacuum, and the gas car will pull back. With a diesel, you're continuing to compress that fuel, and once you downshift, it compresses it more because the engine goes up in RPMs. I don't think it would damage the. It might damage the engine in the long run. So, like 10 years or so, you'd damage the engine. So you'd wear an engine down over time. One of the reasons why we don't use diesels as much for passenger cars is because we like people using the engine to slow the vehicle down. So, so it will damage the engine over time, a long time though, like 10 years. So he's right in that instance. Do you have a diesel? Are you driving like a Mercedes or an older VW? As those are diesels generally, and it also depends on the vehicle. Because I think that Volkswagen's EFI, that's the electronic fuel injection, will pull back on the fuel when you let off on the gas pedal, which then starves the engine a little bit. And if the engine is starving, it will slow down automatically. So he's sort of right. It won't blow up the engine in the short run. It'll blow up the engine in the long run. I mean, it won't blow up the engine in the long run. It's a Volvo. Yeah. Volvo's EFI is pretty solid in their diesels. So, give or take. Is it the C series? Is like a C40? Like the C40 or the C60? Or is it a larger class car? All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to travel. How far do we want to travel? How far do we want to go? C60? So that's a diesel V6, so that's not bad. I mean, that's a pretty decent engine, and I would just go on ahead and I mean, if you want the life of that car, Volvos have a long life though. I mean, they'll go a long, they'll go like 500,000 kilometers. You know what I mean? Before they need anything big. They're pretty solid vehicles. So and they're well built. Volvo and Volkswagen make really, really good vehicles. Mercedes is off and on. Like sometimes they do good, and sometimes I've seen some Mercedes that are just rough. It's like, you people. Okay, so we're 224.58. Let's see what happens. How far do we want to go on this? Like maybe to minus 1,000? Maybe? Not in 90 seconds, though. That won't tell us anything. So how far do we have to go through the entire run of this to here? That's minus 31 or 32.12, right? So, and actually, you know what we should do is look at it when it leaves the cyclorama. So let's look at the top, move to here, and we'll say, when do you leave the cyclorama? Because that's the time when we can swap it. So it leaves the cyclorama at 4,600 or minus 4,600. Oh, that C60 is your dad's. That's fair. So 224.58. When you say it was weak in reverse, do you mean it just didn't have any power in reverse? Like it wasn't very strong going backwards? So if I take you, let me say minus 4,600, which makes this a difference of I hate math. Boy, I hate math. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, not a lot of engine power. Was it also manual? Like, did it have a standard transmission or an automatic? I mean, one of the things I absolutely adore about Europe, by the way, is that you guys still love manual transmissions. I am such a fan of manual transmissions. And it's getting so hard now for me to get a manual transmission here. So hard. Yeah. So you needed to give it a lot more gas and feather the clutch more to get it to go backwards. I know that. So manual transmissions have what's called helical cut gears. The gears are cut at an angle, so they're all angled, except for first gear and reverse. All of those are straight cut, so the gears are straight instead of being cut at an angle. And so the helical cut gears, they're a little weaker. They break easier, but the straight cut gears also mean that you end up with you have to give more power to the transfer case to get through that because of the straight cuts. It's also the reason why when you put a car in reverse, it makes that noise. That's the straight cut gears going because they grind. They don't grind, but they whine because the oil is going through them, so they whine. Side note for people who are fascinated by these things like me. I am fascinated, by the way, by everything. And there's no logic to it. I don't really know why I think this is all so cool, but it is. It's all so cool. Calculator. We have to take 224 I'm just going to make this 224 straight and minus 4600 to give us a difference of 4376. So if we take 538 and a lot more gas. Yep. Was it also a diesel? I don't remember whether the 745 was a diesel or not. Was that a diesel? Five 038 minus 4376 equals 662. Oh, it's gasoline. So now we're taking plane 2, and I'm going to put it at 662 like this, and that's going to move it to there. Now, why it didn't move it to the end of the plane disturbs me a little bit. Gasoline, so it should be there, which is 223. Well, duh. Right. There we go. So we're going to have 224 minus 4600 and 5038. Those are our numbers. Oh no. Oh no. Was it just a Nissan pickup? I mean, because I know Nissan, at the time in the 80s, Nissan didn't name their pickups anything. They just called them pickup. Which I thought was kind of a thing. I was like, well, there's that. Okay, now we know how to, yeah. Oh, it was a Nirvana. A Nirvana. So yeah, that was after the 80s, so it was a 90s Nissan. My dad had a Nissan. It was just a Nissan pickup, and it didn't even have a name. It was just called the Nissan pickup. Yeah. They call it the Nirvana in Europe and in Japan, but they call it the Frontier here. Yep, you're right. Okay, so I've done all the math now. Now we know that now what we can do is change our speed based on how many frames we want to rotate these two plates. Okay, so the good news about this is this will work for all of our different things. So when we do highway driving and stuff like that, it'll also work there. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to take you and put you back where you were, which was at 5038. Then we're going to take you. First of all, I'm going to call you plane 1 so that we know what we're doing here. We're going to call you plane 2. I'm going to take plane 1 then and bring it back to its location of 224. Right. And there we go. Now we're going to do the thing. And let's see. Me, right now, I am all about the ID.Buzz. I think that's going to be so cool. Volkswagen's going to bring back the bus, and I'm so excited because that's such a cool vehicle. So that's what I'm hoping for, is that ID.Buzz. You guys already have it rolling around there this model year, but we don't get it until next model year. So, and they're going to make a different version for the American market, so it's going to be slightly longer. But you guys will be seeing the ID.Buzz traveling around pretty soon, depending on how close you are to Germany, I guess. Because I know that they've started driving them around. People have been seeing them in like Brussels and, Berlin and things like that. So they're starting to show up. And I'm so into it. It's two-tone, so I'm going to get the blue. It'll be blue on the bottom and white on the top, and I'm so excited. And so I hope they keep the two-tone when they bring it over here, because there's talk that they won't, because Americans tend to not like two-tone vehicles. But I think they're real expensive now, and I don't know, we'll have to see. I'm hoping, so I won't be able to get out of my current car. I've got a Jetta. I won't be able to get out of that until 2025. So I won't be able to even buy the Buzz until 2025. So I'm hoping that the price will come down and they'll bring it down for the US market. But even if it's not, we'll figure it out. I need to get people to pay my Patreon so we can get an ID.Buzz. Then Brent and I can drive around in our schoolies. So the thing about this is that we've had an electric Leaf now for 7 years. And what I've discovered is it's expensive owning a gas car. That's what's expensive. So there's that. So if we do 90 frames, we want to do I'm thinking through my numbers here. How many seconds do we think we want to make this? Because we're thinking, right? Leafs are great. But the thing about the Leaf that's really cool is that, it's my wife's car. She's the one that drives the Leaf. But it's so good in snow. But it's not just that. It costs us almost nothing to drive, because we've got solar panels on our house. And so it doesn't, most of our electricity is coming from the sun. So the Leaf doesn't even cost us in electricity. And so it's getting to the point, and electric cars don't have as many parts as gas cars. So they don't require the maintenance that gas cars do. Yesterday, I took the Jetta in for service, and it was like $150 worth of service to fix the car. Or not to fix it, but it was just normal maintenance. It was oil and the filter and all of the fluids and everything like that. So it's just so expensive to maintain it. It's worth paying a little bit more to not have to pay randomly for, oh gosh, you've got to come in and change all the fluids. They said the next service in the next year, that Jetta is going to cost $500 in service, because they've got to flush every fluid out of it. I'm like, really? So we're going to do another. It doesn't surprise me. We've got the same deal. But our conservative side made it so that it only works if the vehicle was built in America. So it biases towards Chevrolet and Ford, and biases against Nissan and Volkswagen, because you have to be an American car now. All right, here we go. Okay, I need to do the math in my head here. So we're going to take this, we're going to call it plus 360. We're going to go to 360. That gives us a lot of seconds to do stuff. And now we're going to have to actually remove each and every one of these dumb frames. That way nobody's moving. Yeah, gotta love the conservatives. They do that here too. Because their whole thought is, there shouldn't be any of that. Yeah? You want scritches? Here. You know how the scritches rule works. We have a George break. Just as I figured out my numbers. You're a goofy cat. Okay, so we need to do multiples of moving the roads and then thinking this through. Because the thing I want to show is first how to do it. This is George. George, that's some user. George doesn't care. As long as he gets scritches, he really just doesn't care. He does this in the mornings a lot. This whole idea of visiting with me and then getting in the way of my work. You're a good cat. You should probably sit over here. So I can do the math. I need to do math. Don't step on my mouse. All right. So if we were to say that we want to travel the distance of the cyclorama in 90 seconds, we'll move the slider to 90 seconds. You're stepping on my mouse. You know that, right? You know you're stepping on my mouse, right? You know this. Look at things. When we take you and we move you back to minus 4,600. Right? And then we take you, and are you feeling like you're not getting enough attention? There. Better. Take you and move you to 4. Right? We probably need a third plate. That's what I'm thinking. But if we look at this now from the default camera view, we'll see that now the road moves. We'll move the default camera so that it's looking at the cars. This. Right. Now, if we do this, we're actually moving at a pretty good clip there, aren't we? Woo, doggy. All right. 1, 2, 3. And we will go then to 91. We need 3. We're going to need 3 plates. We're going to need 3 plates, cat. Because we need plane 3. Why would it do that? Oh, it's just duplicating the... You do make this difficult. Which I believe is your entire intention. Yeah, he's sitting there going, what are you doing? Well, he sees things like he'll see the mouse moving around. Like, see, he'll watch the mouse pointer, which makes it funny. Right, left, right, left, right. And I move it over here. Right, left, right, left. You can make him say things like, you like tuna fish? Yes. Yes. You like tuna fish? Yes. There we go. That's more like it. You're like a puppet. Goofy. You're so weird. All right. We're going to go to the top view. We don't actually need to worry about what we'll do is I'll do this. We do need to make sure we're at stop point, though. So we will move that guy over there so that it's just a random guy. Doesn't need to worry about it too much. We don't need to worry about the driving line on that one. So now we have 3 positions, right? These guys move correctly. And now we need to think about, where does this guy go? So we need to think about the other position, which is this position, where plane 3 before we put everybody else on the show, I used to stream by myself, and I called it the Guy and George Show because of this right here. Because he's going to be here, and he's going to be in the way, because he's a goober. What he is. Okay, so our stream on the other side looks like it is 9860. So it really is -4600 to 224 to 5038 to 9860. Those are our 4 positions. I'll scratch out the other ones so that I don't get it confused. The George Show. Totally the George Show. And he knows it. There. All right. All right, now we're going to move plane 3 from there. And in this position, plane 3 now needs to be moving from 9860 to 5038. Right? There we go. Perfect. And then at this position, we're going to move plate 1 over to the position because it just exited. So from here, we mark plate 1's transition. We move forward 1 frame, and then hopefully this works. We move plate 1 to 9860, right? And that should put it at the other side. And hopefully it just moves, or right? We can always hope. So I'm going to take these guys though. And here's the thing we need to do. We need to make them linear. Everything needs to be linear. Right? So what happens then is that plate just disappears. You see how it's slowing down? Everything needs to not slow down. Like all of these guys are trying to slow down, and they don't need to slow down because we're going to move from 90, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Wait. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So here's the next 90-second interval. Why are cats? I feel like this is a trick question. So anyway, yes. Plane 1 needs to move. Well, right. Plane 2 is at 224, and during this time, it needs to move to the next position, which is minus 4600, right? Then plane 3 moves to 224. All right, look at us moving right. And plane 1 then moves to the next stopping point, which is 5038. Right? They've never forgotten that. Truer words, my friend. Truer words have never been spoken. We'll get to here, and we'll do the same thing. We'll take plate 2, which now is here. And at this position, we'll move him back to 9869, 860. We're just going to make sure that everything stays stable and doesn't run by putting it linear. So over here in this control, we have TCB linear and constant. TCB means that it gives what we call ease. So when you have an object that moves in one direction or another, computers want to do this and just move it straight there and stop it. So but that doesn't look natural because, of course, as we move, we sort of move with this slowing down sort of motion. So we slow down. And indeed, when I'm drawing these cars, I want them to slow down as well. So we do that with this, what we call ease. So that's a thing. So, okay, so here we've done the swap over. So this plate has moved over now. We'll go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 270 is the next one. Interesting that makes some sense that it'd be like a circle. All right, and we'll do the same thing. Except now plane 3 is in this position. So plane 3 now moves to minus 4600, and it's off the map. And then plane 1 moves into 224's position. And plane 2 moves into 5038. Right. And then we advance 1 frame, and at that frame, then we take plane 3, and we reposition that one to the beginning, 9860. And take all of these guys and we make sure that they're linear. And we go back to perspective view, and if we rewind it, it should do this. It's stopping. Why are you stopping? Do not stop. Why are you stopping here? That's an ease moment here. It's easing. It shouldn't be easing. You're still stopping. I did this last night too, where it was easing into these, and it maybe it's these guys linear. Whoa! We noticed that some of it just went wonky on us. There we go. Perfect. All right. This works. We'll do one more pass of this, 2 more passes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. We'll do the same thing we just did, where you, at this point, will move from 224 to -4600. And then you will move from 5038 to 4's position. And you will move from 9860 to 5038's position. And we will take these 3 and make sure that we've made them linear. Otherwise, we end up with the same problem we just had. Everything should be linear at this point. Okay. And then we will double check it by going here, rewinding, and playing. All right. It should be relatively eternal. I mean, other than the mark line disappearing, it is relatively eternal. Okay, good. Now what we're going to do is take car A. We're going to have some fun with this here. Let's do the body, right? So we'll do about 4 per second bounces. So we will do a little bit of a bounce, not a lot. I'll put it up to 2. And this will just ensure that it's doot, 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 kind of tootling along. So that's giving it character that we want. We just want a little bit of character. So I'll put in these guys. And in this instance, I do want TCB. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy it. And go to 10 seconds here and say paste. And 20 seconds. Paste. And I'm just going to do this for a while here. It'll only take a second or two to do all of this. But this gives it some character. As we kind of drive along. Now watch. So I'll show you what we're doing. See how it's just kind of boop, ba-doop, 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 ba-doop. He's just kind of hopping along there. That just gives him a little bit of, he just has a little bit of, just kind of something going on. Paste. There. And he'll just bebop along the entire time. All right. Group of women called the 40 Elephants. Make sure they don't get wild here. There we go. Now we'll go to the green car, and I'm going to give it a different bump because I want it to have a different cadence. So I'm only going to bounce it once a cycle. All right, so I'm going to bounce it just a little bit here. There we go. The 40 Elephants just sounds like a horrible name to name a group of people. You know what I mean? Like, sort of seems like you're asking for it. You're going to get hurt. I'm just saying. All right, let's see what we got. Boom, 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 boom. They're just kind of going along and bopping around. There we go. This way they look like they're moving, and we're kind of cool. Another one of those weird. Right there. You just have to be creative, don't you? All right. Doo-doo-doo. Always remember when you move cameras to move them at point 0. So you always want to be rewinded back to the back of the animation. So all the way back here, because if you move the camera when you're, say, here, then that's going to make a keyframe. You don't want that to happen. So now we can watch these guys tootle along. One, nope. Right? Now what we're going to do is these. Go back here. I'm going to look right here. Because actually what I'm looking for at this point is more along the lines of a good way to illustrate taking this. Here. All right. Now we're going to take you. You're the driving line, right? On this plane. This is the driving line. Okay, so we're going to take driving line. I feel like I spend a lot of time writing stuff down. Line is y minus 39.58 is up. And then how far do we have to go down? Not very far. Minus 4323. So what's going to happen is I'm going to say to here, right? And then we're going to peg in. That's where we make a key, minus 43, like that. That makes a key. And then the key locks it into place. Now, actually, you could do that also by pushing this right here, where it just creates a key. But we're going to then step to the next frame. And anytime you want something to instantly happen, you do it between 2 frames. So right here, then we're going to raise it up to 39.58, and a line appears, right? And then that's going to leave us. Now we need to make sure that these are both linear, because the default, of course, is always going to be with ease, and I don't want ease. So now what we're going to say is this: you're driving along, and there's the line. Okay, so we're going to then mark it 1. Ooh, that's not 3 seconds. You know what I mean? One, 2, you're going to see how that goes. So you mark the line, You say then one, it's only 1 second distance, right? So at this point, then, blue car should right? And this will give us, he turns on his brakes. Right, so he goes here. So he brakes, and as soon as he does, we're going to advance B. Not because B actually went forward, but because in our illustration, we're going to want B to go forward. Right? So we don't really need to advance B a whole lot, but click here to drive car, right? There we go. We just really want you at 0 for the moment. Placed right there. And then as soon as he starts hitting his brakes, right here, start the slow process of expanding that distance to about here. I think it'll move him forward to there. Right, so here he is following too close. We can check that the line's bad, so then we hit the brakes, and that lets him go forward to there. Just in case you get any funny ideas. Let's see how that plays out. We're moving along. We count. I need to turn off the brakes now. The problem is now it ends too soon, because now I want to see whether that worked or not, right? Kind of want to see whether that worked. So we go to here, and we need 3 times the plates, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. We probably should do 5 at least. So we'll go to 450. And that gives us this long run. on here, where that way we get to the end of this cycle. They just sit there. Okay. Interesting that it's still rolling at 360, and I don't know why. It shouldn't be, but hey, I don't understand half the time anyway. Alrighty, let's get the planes figured out. Planes, right? This is the point where these planes are not, in fact, stopping. I don't know why they're not. 350, 360. Why did it go to 370 is what I want to know. Anybody know? Nobody knows. That's fine. We'll remove all those keyframes because we don't need them. I don't know where it's getting these duplicated keyframes out, but that's okay. All right, so we've got this going along here to here, and we'll just take the next logical step and go to here. Feel like we're going the wrong way. 50, 60, 70. And 2. And this needs to be one of those where he passes here at, let's say, 340. So he needs to be far enough ahead that this passes correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's fix this problem. So we're going to take plate 1. Let's go back to the top. Take you first. And you get to no. Yep, plane 1 moves back to second position. Let's see. One frame up. Work. And you move back to 960. Right. Which is fine. And plate 1 needs to be now and plate 2 needs to be at and plate 3 needs to be at Good morning, Colton. Oh, nothing worse than a dot physical. I hope your dots are okay. Okay, I'm easily entertained. You know that. Everybody here understands this, right? All right. Now let's see where we are on this one. Okay, drop your trousers. We're going to deal with your dots. Okay, I'm easily entertained. Your dots should be fine, man. Then you'll pass the dot physical. Imagine if the Department of Transportation actually wanted you to deal with your dot. That had to be a thing. All right. we're here at that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we don't actually want it in there. We want to pass this car here at 380. So let's back up to here. That's where we want. Could be. We're easily entertained. Hi, Patsy. In the room with us is Max, and I don't know whether you want to go by Max or Jerry, but either way, and some user. So those are the room with us at this moment. And yeah, too close together. That's when you've got a problem. All right, let's talk about the top view. Wow. At this speed, that is quite the distance, folks. Just saying. Okay. Car B, we're going to move him all the way up until he is correctly at this line. And that puts car B at 2411. And we're going to undo that, because when we hit the brakes before, back here, that's the distance car B should have gone to. Right? Why? It looks like car B continues forward for like a few more frames here. I guess car B is doing a lot more than just that. Okay. We're actually going to take this guy right here. General transforms. And we're going to I'm going to make my cars drift. Don't think I won't. Yeah, some users out on YouTube and then we're gonna bring you out to 2411. Work. There we go. That way, what's happened is now if you go from the default camera view and we rewind it, they're bopping along. You can see they do not have a 3-second distance, so he slows down until finally they are at a 3-second distance, and then you can count 1, 2, 3, and we all stop. Why did we all stop, folks? We were doing fine. I had this all like working like magic here. What's going on? What plate got stopped? All of them. Except one. One plate's doing fine. Okay, what's going on? I spend a lot of time going, why didn't my animation do what it was supposed to do? I really do. I spend an inordinate amount of time with this. All right, who's still moving? Plane 2 is no longer moving for reasons. Plane 3 is no longer moving, just plane 1. It's a pretty clear camera angle. I like it too. I think part of this is we weren't at the final frame. The final frame of this. So let's take plane 2. Plane 2 is a 224, so it needs to move back 1 to minus 4,600. And plane 3 is at 5038, so it needs to move back to 224. And then plane 1 has done whatever plane 1's going to go do. I don't know what plane 1's doing. Plane 1 plane 1's in the right place. Is this because because we need to plane 1's correct. Why are we running out of who's sleeping on the job here? So that we show this movie in class called The Final Factor. Whoa. Plane 1. Plane 1's like spazzing. Because plane 1's like, I'm totally out of here. Okay, where is plane 1? It's 9860 at the very beginning, so it should not be coming into, where do you end up at? You're not supposed to be there. That's not even a number. People. 5038. Changing the speed of my cars. Right? Linear. All right. That should have fixed that. Hopefully. Let's see. Tootling along, okay. We are way too close. So we gain distance. Right? We count. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. And that's how you do gapping. And now we can take work. That's it. It's on plane 2. And our driving line. Here's what I want to do with the driving line. So car A is going from San Francisco at 40 miles an hour, and car B is coming from New York at 20 miles an hour. Where will they meet, and how fast will they be going? I hated those. Oh my God, I hated those when I was a kid. I was like, I don't know. Are they going through passes? Like, is this just a direct line? Are you just throwing the car? Like, I don't know. As the Nuku Nuku bikes. I don't know, people. So, all right. The line appears. What I really want is for this, and then we'll go forward. And actually, I feel like we can go like up some more. No, I'm gonna go up some more. I want to go up more. Right? And before we get too invested in this, let's make sure that it is somewhat opaque so that people don't go, oh God, there's a thing there. Are you going to hit the wall? Ugh, don't hit the wall. I get this thing there. Ian, you joined me. You joined me, Ken. Ha! Ha! 2, 3. And then I will move this line down. There.
How are you this morning?
Well, so far so good. I mean, anything could happen. Copy. Just in case you get weird on me here, which you very well might. Who knows? I will switch to can mode. Can attacks next time on Fox. I feel like that's not the way that worked. Like it's not working the same way it used to. It used to be much better.
What?
This guy. I feel like he would. I feel like he's increased in size or something. Now it's not as easy to see him. There we go. All right. So we've got. I don't think that line's changing, so that's good. But the idea is you find an object, you draw a line, we count the seconds to where you run over that line. And you know what? That was sucky right there, people. Paper. And not a good line. Not a good line right there at all. All right. And go like this. And kind of try to catch a little bit more of an angle here. We should probably leave the brake lights on until
So how are you doing this morning?
I'm like I said, I'm doing pretty okay. I'm not getting into another argument this morning, though.
No. I wasn't.
Because we're. But I think what we talked about last night was awesome, and it was so good, and I'm really glad we did that.
Yeah. Did you see the Buddha this morning?
No.
An AI artist drew a Buddha, or had prompted a Buddha. He's like, finally, I have the most perfect Buddha, and it's like the most whitewashed Buddha of all time.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's awesome.
So of course he's becoming the internet punching bag.
Right.
There.
And minus 3.5 orc. So the idea is that this guy shows up and then shrinks down so you can see where the line is on the road. Okay. Rewind. 1. Nope. So we slow down. All right. And then we come up on this again. And there we are. Yeah. 3. Perfect.
But yeah, it's interesting looking at the comments today.
Mm-hmm.
And they're everything that we discussed last night.
Yeah.
It's like the hive mind detected what we were saying and are spewing out the same talking points.
Yep. Oh, I don't doubt it. Dang it. Stop doing that, you goofy program. It did it again. It keeps deciding everything has stopped. I don't know why it does that. It goes back to the weird that it was before. All the planes just stopped moving. People keep asking me, why do I use this program for animation? And I'm like sitting here going, I really don't know. All right, where are you? Why are you moving? Why aren't you moving, I guess I should say. So we're at 4,600. And you should move back to 9860. Part of that problem is this. Right, and then by the end of this, stop doing that weirdness. You should be at 5038. Stop moving. And then you just forgot totally where you were. 224, so you need to be at 4,600. Same thing. All right. Now it should loop perfectly. Yep, that's it. I think you're getting trolled.
Am I getting trolled?
Yeah, by a certain mutual friend of yours and mine.
Oh, hey, I'm on at night. During the morning, this is true.
Guys got work to do. I'm just saying. The car A is spazzing out over here.
I am trying to fix that, but it's been a bit difficult lately.
You're just saying. All right. Save before it gets wiggy on me.
See ya, Colton.
Later's Colton. What are you being called, though? I mean, like, I can call you all kinds of names. I got names for you, bro. I got names. I got all kinds of great names for you. All right. Alrighty. So now we've done a 3-second gap. Isn't that nice? Looks nice. I'm got a 3-second count. There we go. Next thing we need, and this is the last piece to this, I'm going to create a new camera, and we're going to call this the POV camera. And the POV camera, normally I would bolt the POV camera into the car, but one of the things that has occurred many times is that the car bounces too much for the video and makes people sick. So I'm not going to do that. We are going to change the POV width-ishness. so we can see right correctly. But at this point now you can see we're driving along. There's our line. You can count right there and see just how short it is. So we slow down. And then once we get to here, we can count another line and do the same thing. That allows us to do that. The thing is that I think he's going to make me count on the other side of the fricky frick. So let's not make it hard for him to make that decision. So I take this guy right here. I was going to put him on the other side of the street. Because I know what's going to happen. He's going to say, well, why can't you make that be on this side of the street? No.
Your real simple, quick project is becoming a lot more complicated.
Yeah. Driving along, kind of doing the thing.
Driving along my automobile.
There we go.
That can't be what that looks like.
I just love the idea of a flying reindeer.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Okay.
It does. It's even
Okay.
better.
You got to do it. You got to do it, Bishimoda. You have to make the flying reindeer in Kerbal. And you know the rules. It has to have more rockets. More thrust.
I think we had two very, very different things happen, but they are hilarious.
More boosters. You always need more boosters in Kerbal. It's just the way it goes. It's the rules. All right. I feel like we are doing good.
So, Guy,
Yarp.
you caught the comment with Shimoda. Shimoda with the reindeer. I thought you were talking about what I just saw with this helmet this person is wearing. I went, no, that can't be what it looks like. And I went back and I looked at the helmet and started busting up laughing because it is the way the helmet is. The way the helmet is designed, it looks like she's wearing panties on her face.
Nice. More boosters. Yep. No, Nishimoto and I play the same horrible game, but it's a wonderfully horrible game. It is certainly
of trying to build Santa's sleigh.
Okay, I'm also going to make you wider. No, I don't want the frame width to change. I want the focal length to change. I'm like, why isn't this working like I want it to?
Because it hates you.
Right? I'm like, why is it not working?
All right, I have to do it. I have to do it.
You did the thing?
I'm doing the thing.
Oh, noes. Here we go.
It's the Sisters of Shimpai.
I think I will delete the bounciness of this car whenever we do POV. But since I'm going to render one and then render the other, I probably ought to be good and save first. It's 11:06, but that's all right. That's all right. I'm actually going to do a still, and then just make sure that when I render it, because I've made this mistake before, thing looks correct. Oh, good. I've done this. I rendered the movie and then realized that I didn't do the ambient on here. Okay. So this is DS015. Yeah, 1015. Yep. 3-second distance overhead. And then we will switch cameras to you. And then say render, maybe. Render. All right, well, I'll be right back.
What thing are you talking about, Max? I'm confused.
Oh yeah, you can see the render bar. Repeat the answers. Repeat what answers. Was I answering something? Hang on, I'm scrolling back some, user. I don't know. Oh, because Can's talking about panties. Oh, yes, you did. Can, do you post your stuff anywhere?
Yes, I post on Twitter. I post a lot on Twitter. I also have a Patreon account. Okay, so in my defense, let me bring up the official artwork for this stuff. So you don't look at it and go, he's being perverted. Because yes, I am.
I was about to say,
that's not the point.
There's no defense for that. You're definitely always pervert. You're always perverted. What are you talking about? I could do the other cars real quick. said after the perverted comment? Nothing? I mean, other than, being funny about it.
Okay, so that's the original picture.
Yep.
And that was as I was drawing, I'm like, no, that can't be right. I have to be screwing this up. No, I'm not.
Yeah, it's C flat.
Actually, you know what?
I
don't think I have my Patreon listed for when Nightbot goes off.
Definitely a thing you want to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't say D car on its license plate. This car is so rarely used that it literally does not say that it is D car. So very rarely used D car. Nobody noticed that its license is expired. And here I am telling my kids.
Except the police.
Yeah. Tell my kids.
Actually,
I'm not messing with it. I'm really just not.
Actually, you know what? Keep it. Because you could use that for another slide later.
I could also use it for, did you notice anything? Are you guys paying attention?
Yeah.
California Youth Empowerment. What are you listed under? Because you're not listed under CAN out there.
I'm listed under CAN everywhere. For Twitter, it is. No, I don't want to buy Twitter Blue. For Twitter, it's KN123. And then Patreon's just flat out patreon.com/CAYEN.
There we go. You got your page.
And then I also have a comic page as well through crap, I can't remember the Global Comics.
Yep, there we go. Bishimoto put it up. I like your art.
Thank you. I'm told it is super cute.
It is super cute.
Hang on, I'll be right back.
I'll hold down the fort. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty much what he's doing too. Can's sort of got that nice 80s American cartoons mixed with anime. Oh, well, thank you. So I promised my therapist that I would draw people that were overweight, and it's a thing. And she's into this plan. She thinks it's funny, and I knew no, that's not true. She doesn't think it's funny. She's serious about this, and I think that she's onto something, and it's aggravating. So. Making sure all my vanishing points go to the same spot, folks. Right about there.
Okay, I have to hop off real quick. I have some things I need to get done.
Well, I will see you later.
See ya.
So, and I will talk to the people who are asking questions. And I will switch back to normal mode. So we are trying to deal with why I have problems with eating as a comfort function. So like when I'm stressed out or whatever, I eat. And when we started talking about some of this, we were having some real problems with overweight and things like that. And I think she's picking on the fact that since I am an artist, she's saying, well, why don't you draw it out? And I think that's an interesting choice on her part, is to draw it out. So But that's what she's after, is to... I had said something to the effect of, I felt like I don't know if I would say that I felt like the styles or whatever, that I wouldn't draw overweight people, but I felt like, of course, part of this is that someone who draws in the anime style, they're never overweight. Even overweight people in anime style are still underweight just by the nature of things. So I'm trying to kind of get just something kind of moving in here. And see what I can do on this one. So since we're waiting for a render, I figure I will go on ahead and try to draw this figure. Drop those hips down more. But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. It's kind of like, well, yes, but it's still kind of one of those things where and I don't know, I mean, oh yes, I've got 2 so far, answering to Jerry. I've got 2 so far, and absolutely we can get together. That'll be fine. And yeah, I'm going to call you B because Nishimoto is a long thing. But yeah, you're right. I mean, that is definitely true that he was overweight. But there's a difference between the way Bish. I'll do Bish. I like Bish. There's a difference between the way that anime portrays people and the way that they are realistically portrayed. And so I think part of this is it's going to be good for me to do this anyway, since we are waiting for that render to clear. Because we're still at 253 on that. So 254. We're about halfway through the timeline. You can see it causes a lot of stress. It likes to render in the background better. And there we go. Give more curve to the breast. But yeah, I'm just kind of trying to think it through. I don't know if I'm pretty sure she's onto something. She knows what she's talking about, right? I mean, like, that's what she does. It's her job. But it's still kind of one of those things. What we're trying to address is I stress eat, and so I'm pudgy and round because I stress eat. And so the thing we're trying to really work on is why am I stress eating? What's the story? And, is it image based? And so we're addressing a lot of different issues that we think are in this spot. We'll see. I know that my family, when I was growing up, was somewhat... I've mentioned this before on stream, that my family was very body conscious, body shame sort of stuff. And I inherited that. And then I married somebody who's got zero body shame. And so it's been an evolution going through here. I feel like I didn't tilt her back far enough. So let's push her back a little, because she's stretching more. And so it's one of the reasons why I say that no matter what, we're going to have, that's one of the things, hallmarks that we're going to have with Bellatrix Rising, is that there is no body shame in there. They don't have body shame. They've gotten over it. Let's see here. We're going to do this. Bring this around. There we go. More like that. Because I think body shame is painful, and I think that part of this is a body shame issue. You mean oranges and bell peppers? Yes, but and though that's kick butt, man. That's kick butt. I gotta say, I think that's awesome. The thing is that it's you eat bell peppers and oranges. I eat M&Ms, and that's the problem. And therein lies the rub. Right? Because bell peppers have 0 calories, really. Let's bring this around and down. I don't think she needs me to do very specific stuff. I think we can just be in the realm of, I also feel like this comes down further like so, and that goes out further like so. Anyway, therapy. So we're doing therapy now. So there you go. Yeah, but the seeds are the good part. I'm just saying the seeds are awesome. That's all. That's all. Although I've got to say, if she says, "How does this make you feel?" I'm gonna be like, "Well, I don't know. Like I drew this wrong and didn't do the perspective correctly. Like really weird. I don't know. Work here. Ask me how I feel in the mirror. Put her next to a Jeep. Why? Reasons. Reasons. Here's something to be next to. And this is why, some user, your entire backyard is covered in bell peppers. That's why. I'm just saying, you've been wondering why, and that's it. I don't know. Jeep. I just wanted something behind there. All right. So my wife has been threatening to put mint in the backyard and just let it take over everything. I think that's funny. She's like, I'm so over the backyard. I'm just going to plant mint back there and let it just eat everything. Oh no, I love mint, but mint is very aggressive. So if you plant mint in a yard, it'll go everywhere. It'll take everything over, and so it's a matter of whether I want to go out there and have to mow the mint all the time because it's eating the grass and it's eating. that's really what it boils down to. All right, that's a thing. All righty. Probably put this a little further forward. Yeah. But part of it, the reason she's threatening is because she knows that, see, I feel like this needs to be a lower area. It needs to be down here like that. That's better. And that's much more like what we're looking at. She feels, or I love mint so much that she's like, if we put mint back there and we had mint, we could then harvest the mint and have mint tea and things like that. It'd be very cool. Keep increasing the size of things. It's somewhat disturbing. Not disturbing for any other reason other than my style is usually small chested. And so I am having a hard time expanding the chest out to a point where it's actually anatomically correct. And instead, I'm just making my life confusing and stuff. There we go. Yep, that's totally true. That's part of the ongoing problem, of course, is that, and what we're talking about is the stress eating in question happen. I don't want anything healthy. That's part of the problem. And so I convince myself to not eat healthy things. My wife is a very healthy human being. She is very, very healthy. And so that adds to the stress of this whole thing. Is that, she's, as I have often said, she's a Californian hippie. So where are we? Are we done yet? Nope. We're at 409 though. We're really all right. That's fair. I've thought about that. But the reason I'm seeing a therapist though is because what I'd rather do is just reset or tackle whatever is going on in my head that makes me eat whenever I'm stressed out. So, we'll see. Yeah, see, that's a better choice would be to do like grapes and clementines and stuff like that. My best bud, that's what he did. He switched to grapes. I think I just heard a fan change. Not yet. Not quite there. We're going to keep on until I switch to the camera inside the car. But since it's per render, I'm actually going to kill the stream at that point in time and then let it render the other side off camera because it slows my transmission down quite a bit too. That's the fans going down. All right. That took 32 minutes. This is a pretty complicated animation. It's going a long time. So, okay. Raisins. So part of this is that one of the things I did do, why am I off the left side of this? It's like weirdly set up. Am I off the, can you see all of this? It feels like it's done like a full screen and then, yeah. Like you're not getting, like it's super zoomed in or something weird. This is like a weird broadcasting blip for Restream. Turn off the chat overlay, turn back on the chat overlay. It didn't help any. Oh, it's set up for not having the chat overlay. I can fix that too. So there we go. All right. So we'll real quickly set this thing up because the second part of this is save. We'll save this because it rendered properly, hopefully. And what we should also do is check to make sure it did it. Right. Let's see if it ran properly. Chug, 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 chug. I did this before. Like the video player gets freaked out. It's playing it. Open with VLC. No. Solid to me. Yeah, I just need to switch to the... All right. Now we're going to take car A's bump out because it really looks distracting of it bebopping around. So we're going to take the bounce out. So it won't bounce anymore. Because this way, because it looks cute there until you're here, and then it's not so cute anymore. Right. What I might do is this, just a touch. Just a little bit, so looks like he's doing something over here. You know what I mean? Just a... Now I just kind of turn the wheel a little bit, making it look a little authentic here. There we go. And we'll call this save as scene, and I'll call it 3 seconds distance stable. That way I can delineate the difference, right? So I want to make sure that it says it's the same thing, right? So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to hit render on this, and then I'm going to go get lunch. So thank you all for joining me. It has been pretty intense. It's been a pretty good day today. I feel like we've done good. We did another one of these animations. They're all ready to rock and roll. Now we can move on to whatever else we're going to move on to. So that will be good. You're welcome. Thank you for all being here. I appreciate that. It was a lot of fun. And I'll see you guys later. And as always, keep on the stars. Goodbye.